Hello, this is Adam from Scan Pro Audio, once again joined with Simon from Yamaha.
Hello.
Thank you very much for joining us. Well requested as always. And thanks so much for everybody watching our last video. We talked about sliders and the assignable knobs too. So I thought today what we would do is look at, shall we look at this section?
Yeah.
Style control. What does it do?
Yeah.
What do the intros do? What do the endings do? For many of you at home that might be coming to this instrument from another brand, like a Korg, for example, the intros and the endings, all the buttons, they work differently, and I think it's important to look at how that is different.
Yeah, so the section we're going to focus on over here is basically all to do with turning on and off the accompaniment and there. And then once it's on, style control here, you can see they've got this kind of... and then we'll go through, like you said, what do these buttons do?
Yeah, sure.
What do they do? So we'll assume that people are aware of what a style is, because hopefully you've watched some of the other videos we've done. And then we'll talk about why you would move from one to the other.
Okay.
The brand you just mentioned, this intro number 1 is the shortest. Okay, so the intro itself will play just a count of 4.
Yeah.
And then it will go straight into the style straight away. So let's pick, let's go for something. I'm a little bit of an 80s fan. I don't know about you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just going to randomly pick whatever it is. And we'll have intro 1, and we'll go after the intro. It will go straight into the one we've got selected.
Okay.
Intro 1, and what I've done here, we'll come back a bit more to these, but I've put synchro start. That will mean it will start when I play my first chord. Okay.
Here we go.
So we should have... That was the intro.
Nice.
That was the intro. That was it. 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah.
Yep. So we're here for the actual style itself, and I won't stop it this time.
Nice.
Yep. So we might as well go over this side and say the ending 1. Guess what that is?
I'm guessing it's exactly the same. A 1-bar ending.
A 1-bar ending, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It will end.
Yep. So some people call that sort of fill and hit.
Yeah.
That's just... Do you know that band?
No.
That'd be a great...
Fill and hit. It's a duo.
Yeah. And that will finish the song literally on the 1-bar.
Yeah.
End. So number 2, so on here is slightly longer.
Yeah.
A little bit more musical, with some instruments playing as well. So let's go. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go from intro 2 into the style and then ending 2, all in one take.
Great.
Yep, while you're on the cameras.
Yep.
So synchro start, intro 2.
Intro 2, yeah.
Even forgot my own thing. There's the style in, and then ending 2. A little bit longer chord change.
Yeah, so the intro 2 that time, I mean, I know it differs for every single style, but that one was roughly around 5 bars. So it's different, obviously, than the intro number 1. Ending 2 was still relatively short, but obviously longer than the first one.
Yeah, and then we'll do the same with number 3. We'll do intro 3 into the style and then and then there. Yep, okay. So let's go intro 3. There's the style in.
Yep.
2, 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't count that time because I was having a lot of fun listening to that intro, so that was great.
Yeah.
So you can basically short, medium, and long.
Yes. Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. So the way I like to describe these is A, B, C, D is, if you like, how busy the band is.
Yeah.
So you might have certain parts of a song, or even an orchestra, which some of the musicians are on their sheet music. There's just 32 bars of nothing.
Yeah.
Because at that point they don't need everyone. A, B, C, D has been sort of typically how you build up how busy and how big the piece is.
Yeah.
So we can just go through these.
Yeah,
I'll play the intro, play the chord, and we'll do a short intro, and I'll go through A, B, C, D.
Are we happy staying with
Well, I think
Jason
maybe.
Donovan?
Well, maybe we should choose another. Just
I know you like the 80s, but I didn't know
do.
you like that side of the 80s.
I did say I picked it at random.
You did.
Yeah,
you did.
I didn't know. Yeah, so you pick one this time.
Okay.
Then. Still in the 80s.
We're staying in the 80s. Okay, let's go for... I'm going to go for a DX ballad.
Oh, lovely.
DX ballad.
Okay, so we're going to do short intro, A, B, C, D, and then short ending.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll change key just for a bit of just a bit of variety. You've got to have an 80s DX ballad. I think it's going to be in the key of A.
Nice.
Yep.
So it counts as in.
Nice. You can tell that's the beginning of the song, can't you? Okay, then we'll do into the next.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go crazy with the chords on here. I'm just going to play.
You can really hear the style, and it's a great style. Oh, here we go. Oh, nice.
That's definitely picked up now, hasn't it?
Oh, I like that. It's
Yeah.
a nice chord.
Okay, we're going to go to. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And then we'll end.
Nice. I
Nice.
like that. Also, another great feature there that happened that many of you at home may have heard, and that is when I noticed that when you were changing from variation A through to B to C to D, something happened which was quite nice. Is it did a little filling, which is really good. And I noticed that you didn't a filling button or anything like that. You literally changed from A, B, C, and D. So how did that happen?
Well, that was thanks to the button here that says auto fill in, which as you move from A to B to C to D, or backwards, or actually jump around, it will automatically, in the right place,
link in,
play a fill in, and the musicians would to move to the next one, whether that be build up or build down. And the other thing is it also works for when you go from B to B.
Yes, it
will do.
So it almost makes the variation buttons a fill-in button, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. Now some people might not want that, so you may want to move to a different section or build up the band, without a fill-in.
Yeah.
And it's very, very simple. You just turn off the auto fill-in button, and now when we move from one to the other, this time it will just go to the next one. Should we try it again?
Yeah. Straight in, no drum fill, no, it literally cuts to the next one. But what's quite nice is you can see as you're going through those different variations, it flashes, and it means it's going to change at the beginning of the which is a really nice feature.
Yeah, so that flash is quite useful, especially with this one, which doesn't have too much going on.
Yeah.
You can see that's moved now. We're in. So that's really useful. So that auto fill in is literally a case of. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
And then something else to do is that fill in is literally doing a fill between one section and the next. Some people do ask, what is the break?
Yes.
What's the point of the break button?
Yeah.
So a break usually, not always, but usually be where every instrument stops.
Yeah.
Just very periodically, for then a drummer to perhaps just do a little drum break.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's not hardly anything at all. It could be just stop the rhythm, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll demonstrate the difference between that and a fill-in.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be a good. We'll keep the same 80s ballad, I think.
Yeah.
So here's the fill-in with the fill-in on auto fill-in.
nice.
Yep, so it did count 4,
Yep.
didn't it? So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
But on this one, this will be a break. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And it's quite nice that it's a really good example with this particular style is that all the instruments stop.
Yeah.
So it came to a break, the drummer did a little fill-in, and then everyone joined back in. Whereas with the fill-in, I don't know if you noticed at home, but when you press the fill-in, the bass, all the instruments, they didn't actually stop what they were playing. They didn't play something different because it's a fill-in. They just carried on. And it was literally just the drummer.
Yeah.
It was at the break. No, everyone stops and lets the drummer give a nice break.
Yeah, and we all know those lovely ballads where they take that opportunity to maybe change key.
Yeah, indeed.
It's quite nice. Press the break, wait for the 4, and then move up a key. That's useful. If your sheet music has that, then and you can play all the chords proficiently, you could do that yourself. However, you do have the transpose key. So for those of you who want to stay in the same key but give the song a lift, you could press the break followed by transpose 1 and then carry on.
Yeah. Now, another feature that I've found that's been on Yamaha for many, many years is because these introductions are so good. I mean, literally some of them, they give you ideas for songs. They might be a section of the song, or they're so good. And it's a shame, really, that on the older keyboards, the intro and the end was the same button. So you press intro, play your piece, press the same button, it would end.
Yeah.
Now, they're now separate buttons, and there is a reason for that, because when you're playing a song, you might be halfway through the song, and you might want to press an intro again to add flavour to your piece before you're leading into a key change or whatever. So I just wondered if we could maybe show that.
Yeah, well, a little tip that is quite unusual, but I like to use it, is actually to press ending 1.
Yeah.
Which leads people to think this is coming to an end, and then hit the break.
Right. Okay.
Play something along with it this time. What sound have we got on the right hand?
Well, let's have a go. We've got a nylon guitar, we've got a soprano saxophone, we've got a ballad hit electric piano, or some brass.
Okay, let's go for the electric piano. Just because, you know, an 80s fan. And we've got the
amazing DX sound
as well.
Yeah.
So we're going to finish the song with that. Well, we're not. It's like a, you know, pretend finish.
Yeah.
And then the thing. So let's see. You think it's finished?
Yeah. I like it. That's a really good key change as well. Love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
I will really.
Nice. Now another really good feature as well is that if, for example, you pick a style, and you kind of demonstrated it there, if you pick a style and you play an intro and you want to end the intro, as in you want to start playing earlier, you just simply press a fill in and it will cut. You can start straight away, and again, a really, really good feature.
It's also handy if you're supposed to be doing 2 45-minute sets and you've only got 2 40-minute.
Yeah, exactly. So another really good thing with this keyboard that you can do is, of course, we said before, is that whenever you are playing an intro or an ending, if you press a break or a fill, actually cut that. So, for example, if you're playing an intro and it's going on too long, you can simply press fill in and start your piece, and the fill in will stop, which is a really nice feature as well. Yeah,
and I think once you've found your favourites that you like, you kind of get to learn how long the intro is, how long. And you then find yourself, I'll go for ending 2 because I know that's the shorter one.
Yep.
Or if you wanted to get your next sheet music ready, get the next one, or load up your iPad with the next song, you might want to use the longer one. Yeah, and the other thing is as well that I mentioned earlier is that you could be halfway through the song and you want to get ready to go to a key change. You might want to press intro and then get your sheet music ready. You're going to go into a key change, and then at the right point, whenever you feel that's convenient, you could then simply press transpose and go into the next key. You can play around with Yeah.
You know, they're purely not on the same button anymore,
Yeah.
which is a really good thing.
Yeah.
Just one more thing I want to look at, actually, if I can, is that on ending...
Just glossed over something you did automatically there.
What's that? What's that?
You just did it without even thinking.
What?
You pressed two buttons together.
Oh, yeah, we should explain.
Well, you do it. It's like, why did you do that?
Habit. So basically, if you, for example, you're playing, and I don't know, you're playing a Barry Manilow piece, which has gone up 4 times, for example, because he made a career out of changing key.
Oh,
So
it's nearly finished.
Yeah, exactly. So say, for example, you're playing Mandy, and you've done your, and then you want to play another song. You don't have to press the transposition down all the way back again. You can simply press. So if we've gone up 3 times, you can see on the screen it said 3. If I press both together, it will just reset back. Or for example, if you've changed the tempo, or you can simply press the tempo reset, and it will reset back to the factory setting for that thing.
I'll probably put you off where you were going to go.
I can remember where I was. So another really good feature that isn't really spoken about enough for Genos is that a secret feature under your ending buttons. So you can see here it says ending /rit. Ritardando, of course.
Yep.
What do we do, and what can we use that for?
I mean, that style that we've got, the ballad, is the perfect example.
It is.
Sort of at the end where the band slight slow down right at the end just for the last chord.
Yeah.
You do have to watch that you don't press it too early.
Yeah.
Because the ending might be 4 bars long.
Yeah.
And if you press it at the beginning, it will stretch.
Take forever.
Yeah. Again, depends on how long you've got to play for.
Of course.
But we'll try it and see. So what you do is to get that at the end of the style, you press the ending the first time.
Yeah.
And then when you'd like to get the tempo to gradually slow down, you just press it the second time.
Brilliant.
The same one.
Let's try it.
We'll try that one. We'll change key just for the fun of it, shall we?
Yeah.
This time we'll go to a lovely E flat.
Okay.
So we'll listen to ending on its own.
Slows right down. That's great.
And you can see the tempo on the screen there is actually counting down.
Yeah, it's a really nice feature that you've got purely preset on a button. You can use it at any time.
Yep.
It's a.
Should we try it on number 3?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, let's have a listen. Press it again.
See it coming down in the screen. That's great.
That was nice.
Yeah, it was good. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good feature, and that works with any style. So any style you've got, press your ending, press it again, and it will slowly start to gradually speed. Great
nice.
Feature. Like that.
Good. So I think we've covered. So we did the intros, we did the main variations, we did break endings.
Yeah.
So we said we'd come back to sync start.
Mm-hmm.
We've also got a sync stop.
Yeah.
Which we'll cover that in a moment. The sync start either get your hands ready to play, but you might want to play the intro part with your right hand before the style kicks in.
Yeah.
Or you might not have 2 hands available, one to press start and one to play.
Yeah.
So the idea is it literally is ready now for me. As soon as I first chord,
the style will start.
It will do, yeah. And then the stop is really useful if you want the style to stop when you let go of the key.
Yeah.
So I think earlier you had a little style which was a really good example because it allowed you to play.
I think if you play maybe syncopation into something, the one I always demo, I think I did it on a previous video, is if you go to something like foxtrot, and what sounds have we got?
Organ.
Organ.
Yeah.
I'll do. So say for example, let's speed it up a touch. Okay, so say for example you were playing a song like this. I'm going to speed up a bit more. that bit in the song when you need the rhythm to stop and only come back in when you play. Yeah. So if I'm now going to start with the sync stop on now, so that means when I release, so you can see what I'm doing. I've got sync stop on. When I release the keys, it will stop. Get that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's
good.
The
other thing that you can do as well is if you wanted to do something like, it allows you to do that kind of stuff as well. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so you can do all sorts with sync stop. So again, a great feature. One other thing I'd like to touch on is that we spoke before about the switch camera. We've done the intros, we've done the variations, we've done the break, we've done the endings, we've done the sync stop, we've done the start, we've done the etc. This is where we switch on and off our chords or accompaniment. We've done auto filling. It is on as standard, so that basically means, as we mentioned before, whenever you change the variation, it will give you an automatic fill-in, which is the standard mode that's normally on the keyboard. Button next to that called OTS Link, which is a great feature, and it makes playing this keyboard a dream. It makes it so simple, and I think it's something we should talk about. So, Simon, what is OTS Link?
Okay, so we'll start with a style, and we'll go to a different genre, I think, just because we need to choose from. Let's go for maybe movie show.
Yeah.
Why don't we have on Broadway?
Okay.
Just, because we can. So what does on Broadway conjure up? For me, I'd say, obviously musicals, theatre, we're thinking orchestra, pit band. You can choose a style and play the chord and make your own selection of sound. OTS, I think it's just sort of something that we've all just grown up. Well, we have.
Yeah, I think
we've taken it for granted a lot, really, because when you first get an instrument, it takes a little while before you start to find your favourites, what you picking out. When you first switch it on, get it out the box, turn it on, you're going to have a big challenge to start thinking what sound, what effect, all the... OTS just literally does it instantly when you press the button. So I've chosen on Broadway. If I press number 1, it's given me this flugelhorn, which is a lovely, lovely sound. And the reverb in there is to the style. Yeah. Now, that was chosen by the team who developed the keyboard, and they months and months and months. It's not just that sound will do. They even do backup sounds. So as well as choosing that horn in the background, even though it's not turned on, we actually have
screen so you can see. Let's go into the screen itself, so you can see this is what it's.
By pressing the one-touch setting, number 1, it shows the flugelhorn, but you can see there's on the right one, it's lit up in white. If I press the right one to turn it off, then there's no sound at all on the right hand, and turn on right 2, this is an oboe.
It's actually giving you a nice selection of sounds. Even a left-hand sound as well, even though there's no sound in there's obviously sound in the style, but there's no left-hand sound.
That's right.
But there is one there should you want it.
And you might prefer the oboe to the flute, and you can just, call up number 1, switch on the thing. So now we have... Or even swap between the two.
It's lovely.
So why would you go then to number 2, number 3, number 4? Now they do get bigger, as we said earlier about the style. They increase in intensity, if you like. The band gets bigger.
Yeah.
So if we go to number 2, it's given us some strings. They're mixed together.
Okay.
Left Keno strings and there. And we now have those strings in the right hand.
And this time it's actually 2 parts are now playing together now, isn't it? It's not just one sound, it's now 2 sounds.
So I don't know if you would agree, but it's probably fair to say that those 2 are relatively soft and they're not overpowering.
Yeah.
But if we went to number 4, this away it says tutti, cinematic, and another cinematic, probably a separate octave.
All layered together.
All layered together. So this is going to be big.
Yeah.
You know, you can hear straight away.
Yeah, the big sound.
And in fairness, that would be a little bit too big for this intro because we're on very, you know.
Yeah.
So the idea of OTS Link is to sort of bring those 2 together so that if you change from A, B, C, or D, it will select an appropriate one-touch setting for you. So by having that on, if I go to A and then go to B,
you can see it's changing now.
It's moved to 2, C has gone to 3, and D4. So that's choosing an appropriate sound, or mix of sounds to go with where the style is.
Yeah, it's a really, really useful feature.
And so you might want to see, rather than it be a bit hit and miss, because we didn't know what we were going to get here until you pressed number 4. What you can do is, if you press the style here on screen, and then right up in the top corner it says menu, the style information,
there you go.
That is showing you not only which one we've actually got selected at the moment is the 4th one, because it's that's it. It's gone green because that's the one that's selected at the moment. You can just touch the screen and change to the 3rd one.
So you can actually do it through the screen as well.
Yep.
What I also really love about one-touch settings and registrations in general on any Yamaha, like you said before, the team that they have that really spend, when they're designing a product like this, they really think long and hard about not only what sounds work well together, but it's the effects as well, what octaves those sounds are played in.
Yeah.
And the other thing is as well is, just because you've selected this here and you've picked the first sound, and like we said before, the flugelhorn, you might want to you might think that's really good, but I want to put some strings with that. You can do that. Don't think this is it, this is gospel, that's what it's got to be. This is the beauty. It sparks imagination, and it really does allow you to good platform to start from. And the other good thing is as well is when you are looking at some registrations, I don't have any in mind really, but if I just pick let's go for a dance, and I'm just going to go for you pick one, just pick any of them. Go on,
Club mix.
Okay, so we're going to go for club mix DJ. Okay, so very one touch setting number 1 has given us 3 sounds together. Now the reason I'm suggesting this is that you might not know that those 3 sounds work well together. It's only one. Pick my one touch setting, played the sound. You might think, gosh, really good. How have they made that? What sounds are? And it's giving you ideas. Because we all suffer from it. We pick a ballad, we think, right, what can I have? I'll have a piano. And then you play a piano, and then you go to another ballad. What can I have? Piano. But when you go to an instrument like this, and you go into ballad, and we go, where are we? Pop. We go to some of these really sort of 12/8 ballad as an example. Number 1. There you go. There's not a piano inside.
No,
it's an acoustic guitar.
Acoustic guitar.
Well, under right 2 if you want it, which might be quite nice. And a great sound, Armenian duduk.
That's nice.
It's a beautiful sound. Again, you might never ever pick those for a ballad. No. But it's giving you some great suggestions and some great ideas.
Yeah, it is. the other thing as well is that if you use the one touch setting link, it will allow you to go from A to B to C to D with the change. But what's quite nice is if you find one like number 3, that's given us the guitar. Actually, I'm going to keep that now, and I don't want it to change, but when I change style, you just turn that off.
And
now this will stay on the same, regardless of which variation.
And of course, you can still change here if you wanted to. That's the beauty. You've got all these different ways. We can select it here, switch that on if we wanted to.
We can go back here.
You can do it on the screen. In like you mentioned before, where you've got the style information. So you've got all these different ways, and again, it's great for live playing because you've got this freedom to change it in many different ways.
I like this page because you can see, as you come into the verse, you think, for the chorus, I'm going to use that one. You know.
And the other thing is just to show again why that's important. Is that there are other products out there that do show, in number 1, you've got piano, in number 2, you've got strings, number 3, you might have a sax or whatever, but it doesn't show everything. Complete overview. So it's even showing me, if we go back to the screen again, you can see in right 1,
it's even showing the ones that are turned off.
Showing the ones that are turned off. That's the thing. So we can see there, we've got Charactergram that's currently selected in green, and it's layered with American Ballad, which is an electric piano. But if I wanted to, it on, there's also a nylon guitar there should I want to, and that's a really, really good feature that it actually does show you not only what's coming up in effect, but even the sounds that aren't selected, and even the left as well, which is really good. I like that.
So a question that I was asked, I was in a store, and somebody who already had one of these asked about if you want to save a change, because there's how many sounds have we got here? We've got 4 different ones, but we've got strings. That's fine because they're all sort of layered. But then you might I don't really like this chord finger chorus guitar, and I don't think I'll ever use it. Now I know we're going to cover at some point some registrations, but there is actually a way that you can change the one touch setting, and you just save it user memory, it still would remain all the same in elsewhere with the style, the sounds, the voices and the rhythm, but it would just remember your one touch setting. Did you know that?
I did know that, but what is good is, shall we explain?
I was going to say
because it's great that, because you do find that, as we mentioned before, these are not, these are not gospel, these registrations, these are not, that's the way you must play that style. These are suggestions. And like we said before, you might like, for example, the guitar. That guitar, I might prefer to have, when I go to LTS number 3, I might prefer to have the cello instead. Because it works better. It's a lovely sound. I like that. It might you might prefer that sound instead. So for that, and how do you do that?
We'll come across to these memories over here in a future video. But the one button we need is the memory button at the end, and once you've pressed that memory button, you literally just press one touch 3. Because that's the one. And what it's saying here is, on the screen, it's saying to us that it's saying that the data has been changed in the one touch setting. So if you don't save this, is basically what it's saying here, then you will literally just come back tomorrow
as it was. Electric guitar again, and not the cello.
But I think that's actually a really good thing. Because it allows you to explore and sort of mess around with the keyboard without the fear of save it if you want, but if you don't, it'll be back to as it was. So would you like to save it, is what it's saying. So I'm going to select yes on the, and then I would save that into the keyboard's memory, into the user, or you could put it on a USB, but I'm just going to press save here in the top right corner. And my recommendation would be to leave it with the same name. You can change it to whatever you want to, but my recommendation would be but add an extra digit or maybe put your initials so that you know the difference between...
Or even the change that you've made. So you could call it 12/8 pop ballad cello.
Yep, exactly.
That's the change that we made.
Yep, you could do that. So I'll just do that from your recommendation. Just type on the cello. And then this will store it into the keyboard. Now, again, just to reiterate, we're not overwriting the original style. The original style is still in the keyboard. In fact, you can't overwrite it.
No.
So that's good.
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is we're just going to go the preset style here. Over here, that is the factory default one that we started with.
That. So 12/8 ballad, and on number 3 is that guitar.
That's right.
That we didn't want.
And then up here, and you've got the user where I just saved my altered style. Press that one.
So now we're the cello.
Yeah, but the rest of the
is everything else is the same.
Yeah, literally.
It's literally that one tiny change.
Yeah, and that could make the difference between you wanting, you know. Yeah. Nice, isn't it? Yeah. In fact, I prefer that to the guitar, but
yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah,
there we go. I like that.
Yeah, that's good.
That's been
that's kind of linked us probably to our next video another day.
Let's do that. Well, thanks very much, Simon, as always. I enjoyed that one. Thanks very much for watching. Please share this video with all your friends, and of course get them to buy a Genos too if they've not got one already, and come and see us at scan.co.uk for the very best pricing on Genos 2, and of course it's amazing monitor speakers you should clip in as well. So yeah, thanks once again.
Pleasure.
We'll see you next time. Thank you. See you later. Bye for now.